Okay, so there's a question in your assignment where you have to plot this graph. So let's do T, and it's current. We'll call it I1 because later on we've got I2, and so this is the one that I think I'm going to do wrong. So it says for at least 3 cycles. Okay, so 0, 0.1, 0.2. Okay, so I have no idea what 3 cycles is going to be, so let's just do that for now. Okay, so this is where we put in this formula, so I'm going to do a different one. Let's say I do 30 times by, okay, it's sine. So sometimes I open and close the brackets at the same time. So inside I've got 2 terms that are added. Okay, so in this first term, let's do 100 times by pi. Okay, so to write pi, you write pi, open close bracket. That's just the symbol for pi. You don't put anything inside those brackets. And then times by the t is the time, that's in A2. So that's the 120 pi t. I just have done 100 pi t. And then I'll do a different phase angle. So the thing with Excel is you have to have the phase angle in radians. So we need to change this to radians, but there's a function on, so if I do a phase angle of 60, that changes 60 to radians. Okay, I found a typo. What is my typo? Oh, I don't have enough brackets. Let me just go away. I think I need another bracket. It should be 30 times sine pi times, oh, it's my A2 that's wrong. I have done a whatever, so let me say A2. And now I have an extra bracket. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. Okay, so then if I hover over, double click, okay, this. So all of these are the same number. Why is that? Okay, so I think my increment, let me change this to 0.01, not to 0.01. Okay, I think that's more like it now. So you were saying my increment just wasn't small enough. So let me see if I can plot this. So I think I'm going to have way more cycles, but okay, so this is, you can see I'm starting to get, oh, okay, so that looks like a sine wave. If you have done, so we can change this time increment. So if you see here, when I had done 0 to 0.1, to oh, something has gone really weird there. We'll delete that. But if I did it in increments of 1, you can see that it was just this crazy, doesn't even know what it's doing. Okay, so the values should change in a sine. So those increments were too big. I think I'm actually going to do, I want to show you something, because there was a problem last year people had. Let me see. Okay, yeah, so if you get one like this, where it's not a smooth curve, your problem is your increments are too big. I'll try and exaggerate this even more. Let's do a bigger increment. So if you can see, like, it's not a smooth curve, it's just, it doesn't look like a sine wave. My increments are too small, so you can play about with those. I'm actually going to make it that small. Okay, so you can see that's a really nice smooth curve, but I'm going to have to, I don't know, why did that? Oh yeah, okay, so I'm going to have to put this way down, okay? I don't know how far down I'm going to have to go. We'll put it to there. And then we can, so double click, and that's where the double click's really handy. So if we highlight all of this, there probably was an easier way, and then insert chart. Okay, so I have way too many. So if I look at the cycles, so there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so in 3 cycles, a cycle from when it starts to it finishes. So if I even just do the 0.7 seconds, that'll get me 3 cycles. So, or sorry, what is it? 0.07. So we can delete all this. So you kind of have to do, so probably 0.7. Okay. I'll delete that. So let me just insert another chart. This one. Okay, insert chart and this line one. Okay, so that looks nice. So we'll put this, we'll delete that one. Oh, we'll delete that. Sorry. We'll bring this up to the top. It's taking forever. Okay, so the next part is we have to plot another graph on the same axis. So let me just get that. Sorry, I'm just looking up here. Okay, so I2. So yours, I'm going to do a different one from what's there. So let me do, let's say equals, so you have to plot 25. I'll do 30 times by sine. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Equals 30 times by sine. So it's the same frequency or angular velocity. So I'm going to do 100 times pi times by the time, which is in A2 still. And there's no phase angle, so that's just it. So then if we double click on the bottom right hand corner. So now I want to plot this on the same axis. So I want to plot these. It says to plot on the same axis and to the same scales, I1, I2, and then we have IT, which is the total. So this is very easy to do, just equals, and then it's B2 plus C2. Okay, and right click or double click. Okay, so now we highlight all of these. There probably is a way of adding it into that current chart, but if we insert chart again, and here we go is our 3. We need to add chart element. We need a vertical. We need to label all of these. So current 1, current 2. We also need to say that this is time, primary horizontal, and a title. Okay, so but that is sort of what your graph will look like for that. So just remember, if your graph is looking too jagged, too pointy, it's because your time increment is too big. Okay, so that's a sine one. There's a question about discharging capacitors over 5 time constants. It's very similar to the one we did in the first part of plotting a graph. For the maximum minimum points, sometimes you're asked, let me zoom in. Okay, so we've got T and we've got H. Okay, so your assignment question, I'm going to do a different one. I'll do H equals 50T minus 6T squared. Okay, so I'll do this one. So if I do 0, 1, 2, okay, 0 and 1 I only need to do, so let's do like this. So let's do this formula. It's 50 times by A2 minus, and then it's 6 times by A2 times by A2, just times it by itself. Okay, so we get 0. Okay, I might need to go down a little bit more. So you're asked to plot it. Okay, you're not given the range. So a projectile, so you're not really interested once it goes into the negative numbers. So chart. So you can imagine this is a ball being thrown or whatever. So we're not interested past 8 seconds. Let me just show you, say if I had done increments of 3, let me show you. That still works. I wonder if this. It's still very smooth. I was kind of trying to show you if it was too blocky. Let's do increments of 20. See if this will never works. Oh, this is still smoothing it out. Okay, ignore everything I just said. Let's do. I think there must be a setting that I'm smoothing it. Okay, there's. You just want to make sure you can see the motion of the projectile. So actually, I don't need to go past 9, so I can delete all this. So chart title. Remember to format. It's design. Add chart element. Axis titles. Primary horizontal. And add chart element, axis title, primary vertical. Okay, so then you need to draw stuff on this, but essentially your graph for this, the projectile and the stationary point should look something like that.